all over again. Maureen Bolstad is our next speaker, and she's been given 3 minutes by Doug Owens. And yes, the Church of Scientology is a constituent, and my doors are open to them as well as any other church in the 3rd District.
Hello.
Hello.
I was a member of the Church of Scientology International for 18 years. I worked there and I lived there. The protesters that I witnessed while I was working there did not disrupt me. They did not bother me. What bothered me was that management did not want me to see their signs. I am in a situation now where I am no longer a member, and my twin sister is still a member. Her last known address was the Church of Scientology International base in Hemet, and she hasn't spoken to her family in 4 years. And I like to protest the fact that Scientology has a disconnection policy that has broken up my family. And if I walk up and down that street with a picket sign and Scientology redefines their property as a residence, I will get fined and I could possibly go to jail for doing that. It is an interruption of my freedom of speech, and there is no alternative given for me to get my message across. Because on that property, I cannot go door to door and talk to people. I cannot hand individuals their leaflets. I cannot call directly to any staff member there, because they do not have the same freedoms as other people who actually in a residence have. They cannot answer their front door themselves. Their mail is censored. They do not have access to a public phone. All of their incoming and outgoing calls go through someone in security. They do not have a manually operated pedestrian gate where they can leave the property freely. They have to go through a security guard, and that security guard is trained to stop them if they do not have authorization. So I cannot simply call up somebody and say, come on out here, I want to talk to you. The only way I can get my message across, and the only way I can protest the fact that my twin sister is not allowed to talk to me or anyone in my family directly, is by picketing and protesting and making my point.
And this ordinance allows you to do that.
Okay, but it is unclear as to whether the property line indicates the edge of a residence or whether the places on the east side of the property are the residence, and that picketing is okay all along the road there.
County Council will clarify that for you.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. It's only going to be regulated by the ordinance if you have picketing activity that proceeds in front of and around the residence, not the entire length of the property, but targets the residence. The residences are located on the eastern portion of the property. My understanding is the picketing activity is going on the western end of the property. So I think you can clearly define where the residences are, and you cannot target them under this ordinance.
Okay, well, when I was working there, they could regulate where the residences were. I mean, they can change that. For example, I lived on the north side of the property, the northeast side of the property. Is that labeled a residence now? Or are they going to speak up and say, well, that's a residence now, so nobody can picket in front of there either?
There are building permits that were issued for residences. And so building and safety, for example, has maps that show where the residences are located.
Okay, so then how does this ordinance change anything from what is going on now? For example, I did a picket recently and I walked up and down the street. Would the sheriff be able to come up to me after this ordinance passes and fine me or send me to jail?
May not change anything.
Okay, then why do we need the ordinance? I mean, why create a new law that has to
to
be enforced?
protect individuals in their homes.
All right, well, there is no danger to individuals in their homes. The home is far away from the fence.
We're not talking about Scientology. We're talking about a normal neighborhood where pickets that want to target your home or wherever you live have to stay 30 feet away. Period. That's all it says.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.